This one's an interesting one. A conservative pundit says that LGBTQ plus people want right wingers to murder drag queens to get a drag Floyd. Drag queens are a provocation, he says. It's been an escalating provocation.
So James Lindsay is an anti-LGBTQ plus activist. He calls drag queens groomer clowns, says that drag queens, drag performers, are part of an unconventional warfare tactic to provoke conservatives into killing someone. He says that they are looking to provoke conservatives into killing a drag performer or a transgender person and then lifting that individual up as sort of a George Floyd for the drag trans community. And that the line that Emily quoted, drag queens are a provocation, and it's been an escalating provocation. This is an unconventional warfare tactic to provoke. He said the real goal is to teach kids living queerly and strategic defiance, and to get adults to either accept their methods or to react too harshly against them on video in order to smear such opponents as inciters of anti-LGBTQ plus hate. The goal is to get you to give in so they get their way or they overreact. It's so important to understand that they want a drag queen to get attacked. They want to make a huge amount of hay of it, and they want to create summer 2020 again off a drag queen or trans person or something like that.
Okay, so first off, there's a lot here, but the two main points I want to make is victim shaming or victim blaming,
Mhm.
saying that LGBT folks are bringing bringing it on themselves, and it's the purpose. That's their intent, is to bring this violence against themselves. And second, how many more trans and LGBT people do we have to report on dying before one of them would be the George Floyd? I mean,
Right.
we talk about this every week. We talk about this not every week, but we talk about the violence. At least we talk about when people are murdered a lot of the times, and
Right.
it happens a lot. So I just don't get how anybody can buy this sort of a claim.
So my argument, my counter argument is that we just had Club Q in Colorado Springs, which is the home base of Focus on the Family. If there were going to be a George Floyd type event, Club Q would have been it.
Or Pulse.
Well, but see, here's the thing. In the years since Pulse, the hate has grown so much more.
Mhm.
This appears as a targeted event. This appears as an event where individuals, in particular drag performers and trans people, were being targeted. If there's going to be a George Floyd event, it's going to be the fact that 5 people, including trans and drag representatives, were murdered in a terroristic act. If there were going to be an event, Club Q should have been in. But what have we seen since then? We have seen people who are anti LGBTQ saying this is a great start. This is just the beginning. This wasn't enough. But we have also seen no overt reaction by anyone to claim that this violence needs to be stopped. When the owner of Club Q sat before a House committee to talk about the violence against the LGBTQ plus community, the Republicans sat there and said it is no different than the violence that is committed against anybody else. So there is no reason to sit here and glorify it. I contend that we are not going to see an outcry against this type of violence until we see a mass murdering of LGBTQ plus people. And when I say that, I'm talking in the hundreds or thousands. That is my contention, because that's what it took to wake up the countries of the world to look at Germany and say, what the fuck is that guy doing? It took hundreds of thousands before the world took notice. So it'll take hundreds, if not thousands, to make an impact on the culture and have people wake up and say, This has to be stopped. Yes, it took millions at the end to recognize what they did, but it took hundreds of thousands at the beginning. It took the imprisonment of hundreds of thousands to get the world to take notice.
Yeah.
But there was still a very huge anti-Semitic movement among the countries that opposed Germany. There was still a huge anti-Semitic move in the United States, in the UK, in those areas. And so, that idea of how many is enough, we have 5, it didn't do a damn thing. So how many is it going to take?